is on.
Awesome. Okay, so now we should start things. That's good. Okay, so we were saying that there isn't really any new announcements from anybody on anything. I guess for myself, like a really quick thing, the that app that I was talking about, like building that scans websites, I'm still working on that. That's like a really big project for me to do. So that's, I don't know. I'm hoping that that'll be like somewhat useful. I know Akashdeep, we talked a little bit during the week about that. If it's useful, that's cool. If not, it'll just be something else. Oh, this Jitsy's being really like jittery for me right now. Okay. So has anybody been working on stuff this week?
So I had two action items. One
Yeah.
was to transfer my Hack'em Days to the web and app Steam thing. I did that, and then I was also supposed to email Brian for the YouTube access. Unfortunately, it turns out he cannot add new folks to get the access, so we'll probably have to contact Infra and then find out how it's done.
I
So
think
that's
that's
the
on
update.
me to figure it out. Let's see. Do we have okay, this week's action items we could put at the bottom.
Oh, they're at the very bottom?
Where I oh I meant the
Oh,
bottom
here
of our
we go.
notes here. So we need to make this week's action items.
I made it after the discussion bullet. So it's maybe just copy pasted on the top. Yeah, so you found it. Sorry.
I think I'm doing it in the right spot, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Be it for now.
Okay, we can give that a headline.
So those are at the top. That's at the top there already.
Yeah. I think it's
Oh, is
already
it?
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
everything from
jeez.
this one's up here.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
So there was this
Also,
thing that I was working on. Oh, go ahead, Ramya.
no, it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it wasn't strictly an action item for me, but the thing is, Kevin and Nick remarked that we require the recent builds of Mote, the one that has been ported to Python 3 and has all the recent changes that we made over the course of last year. So that needs to be packaged, and in the due course of that, I tried to reach out to Chavi, but he seems to have not contributed to Fedora since some time now, and said that it would be better if somebody else picks up the packaging part of things. So yeah, that's something that I have been up to. I have created a Kanban board as well regarding that, and I'd be, I've been helped with Nirek as well as Nick regarding the same. So that's something that I've been doing. We'll be talking about it later.
Okay, cool. Um,
So we once now that the last week action items are discussed, we move to the discussion topic, Ashlyn? Do you
oh, I
have
see.
if yeah? So it's just that we follow what like the format that's in the HackMD. So first we go to the roll calls, and then any announcements, and then we do the last week action items if there were any impediments or so. And if everything is good, we then jump to the discussion part. And then based on the discussion, we figure out if there are any action items for this week.
That makes sense. Okay, cool.
So I had the first thing on the list there. So we're doing a community survey. We're running it for the month of June. And we have here a design that Mo did. It's all the way at the bottom. Actually, I could just probably just put the comment link in there instead because that's more useful. Okay, so this is an updated link in the HackMD. So basically, we need to get this up. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be this group of folks, and that's why I have some questions there asking if it's something we want to do, it's something we have capacity to do, permissions, etc. So if you scroll to the top of that ticket 754, you'll see the wish list of websites. So I can put that here. Website wish list. Okay. Let's see. So what are people's thoughts about this?
Is this that same list that you had sent me like in March or February when we talked about this stuff?
This is a little
You
bit
remember?
different. That was specific to projects that you might potentially work on. This is just a list of places we feel like the survey banner should be in place for the month of June.
Gotcha.
So I did talk to Mo about it, and she said that she has some knowledge on how to get banners up on some of these pages, but not all of them. So we already have someone kind of in our corner if we need some help. But I'm curious if folks have any idea where to start with this stuff.
Murray, could you drop a link to that issue at the chat over here?
Yep.
Thanks.
So here's the general ticket where you can see kind of the description at the top. And then this is the specific comment with the artwork that we want to use.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the context of it. Are we to select uh, any one of these or to provide reviews on them?
No, we're not working on the design. We're working on getting this up onto the web pages.
Okay,
So
right.
if you read the top of the ticket, we want to get this. The banner is already done. The artwork's done. And it's
Okay.
the comment that I put right there. If you look at the top of the ticket, you can see a little description. So there's a community survey running for the month of June, and we want to put this banner onto these websites so that we can get folks doing the survey. And Vic was on the call. I don't know if he's still with us, but he's the one setting up the survey for
I am.
us. Hi. He's the one setting up the survey for us, so obviously we'll need the banner to link to that survey. And I think, all these different pages are built in different ways with different
Yeah.
pieces of technology. So each one is going to take a slightly different approach. So, right. So I guess the question is, do we have the skill set, the capacity, and the permissions to get these things done before June? And if we don't, that's okay. I could go find help somewhere else, or we could try to tackle it as a team and make it happen. So figuring out each one of these, maybe breaking them down, who do we need to talk to for each one, and that might give us some beginning knowledge of how these websites run. So I'm posing it as is this something we want to take on in the next 2 weeks?
That sounds good to me. Especially the docs and the Fedora wiki seems doable from the get-go. But the ones for start Fedora project and the account system is going to be a lot more trickier. But then again, we can do this as a team. We can divide stuffs, reach out to people who are responsible for these stuff, and let them know that this is what we want to do, and tell us how we can do it.
So I would like to open a ticket, and so I can put all the description of everything in there in the artwork. What is the best place to open that ticket?
For now, it should be websites because anyway, the SIG web dev repository is going to go down in some point of time. So websites.
Just to confirm, it's the one I put right there, correct?
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay. So I can open that ticket. I almost think I should just do it potentially right now. But is this something we want to try to do asynchronously, or should we take a few minutes right now to just outline like what tech or contacts or something for each one of these? And I think Vipul is going to be able to help us, hopefully. If
I
it's
heard
people
my
on
name.
CPE. I was just curious, do we want to try to get like a basis for what we need to do here besides opening the ticket? I can open the ticket where we can track things, but do we want to kind of get an outline like what it's going to take for each one of these pages, or maybe a link of where we're going to have to work on it, or we could take a few minutes to do that since it's only 9:50 if we think that's a good use of time here.
Yeah, yeah, I think we should do that now.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. I'm going to start working on the ticket then. Will other folks be able to start looking at these websites and maybe adding in some additional info?
Sure.
Totally.
Okay. The space after each.
Do we just want to divvy them up then? Like someone takes community blog, someone takes mailing list.
Put your initials next to the one you're working on.
Okay.
Vipul, do you have an idea where the start FPO site is maintained? Where the repository is?
Not at top of my head. I can look into it. Give me a minute.
Sure, thanks.
You mean start.fp.o, right? And not the
Yeah.
widget thing.
So Ashlyn, one of the things that we would want to note for Comblog is the fact that it's a WordPress site. So we'll have to look for plugins which would allow for custom HTML inside of it.
It's a which site, sorry?
A WordPress website.
Oh, was that one WordPress?
Yeah, that is
I'm sure it already has plugins because we use custom footers and things.
a good thing. That's going to be convenient in that way.
Would recommending to, if you have any doubts after this call that somewhere you are hitting a wall, Ryan would be a very nice person to help with this in case you can't find it and you think it's taking too much time.
Sure thing.
Okay, I opened the ticket. I'll just put it in our chat here, but I put it in the HackMD as well.
Oh, yeah, so it is.
Akashdeep, the source for start.fp.o is in the comment. I hope this is what you're looking for.
So is it not in a specific repository for itself, but
All Fedora websites are in the same with different directories.
folders? Yeah.
Ashton,
Hmm?
Ben just now commented on the ticket saying that he can help with the community blog thing. Just so you know.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
I'm thinking for the hardware package is just adding the development. I'm hoping that's it. Probably I should like maybe I'll know more once I actually start working on it.
Startfio seems to be making use of Chencha just like EasyFix did. It makes requests to the magazine, fetches out the most recent ones, displays it on them. So I believe it should be doable.
You just modify the bootstrap and everything
Yeah.
that's consuming it should help work. Yeah. Just a warning, I have never really worked on websites and applications. So whatever I say, if I miss something, just excuse me.
Not a problem, Apple. Not a problem.
Okay, I'm back. Is there anything I can help with?
For this, do we want to take a fairly uniform approach, like if we're always putting it at the top, or on some pages do we want to put it in different positions? Is that something that we want to be considering right now?
I think it should go on the top only because we're using a PNG, so we have just one design to work with.
Right.
If we wanted to put it somewhere else, we'd probably have to redo the design or, do it for that specifically.
Mm-hmm. So does that mean that we're just taking the PNG and putting it on the page like an image? Is that our goal with this?
I think it depends on each site. Like some of them are going to be able to do that, and some of them might not. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think just using the banner as is. There is an SVG that I attached as well. If we needed to export it of a different size, for example, but that was my thought. What was your thought?
Um, well, I'm just thinking because if it's a PNG, just like the entire thing would have to basically be a really big button to send people to it, and that I'm concerned about the UI implications of that with it having like button-like shapes and stuff within it. The SVG, if we wanted to do a clear export, I think in most cases that might be better because then we can take, like, we can, in the HTML, we can like edit the SVG and add like HTML and stuff around it to give it functionality. Um,
Okay,
or,
so just I think you got to tell me what you need from me, design wise. I
okay.
support your process of doing it however you need to or think it's best. I'm about. I just need to know like what exactly you're going to need design wise from me.
Okay. For in that case, then the assets would be necessary. Like if the logo, I think as an SVG, and I'm not sure Kashdeep and Ramya and Vipul what your thoughts are on this, but taking like the logo and images that are in that. Sorry, I have the wrong one pulled up. Where's that one again? There it is. Yeah, like the badger and the and stuff, and then we can just like maybe make a div that we can like copy and paste to other pages and then edit the CSS for it.
So you need each of the individual pieces separately.
Yeah, I think so.
That would be overcomplicating stuff because many sites kind of have different ways of interacting with them. So if we just have an image, when we will be placing that image on these sites, at that point of time, we might be able to decide that what needs to be done the best. For some sites, the SVG approach, like you mentioned, of might be the right way of doing things, but for some other ones, might not be. So we'll have to take a closer look at the sites first before And when it comes to unified way of doing things, I'm afraid it might not be possible, at least for some of these sites. So it all comes down to analyzing how it can be done in the best way possible. So it might be different for different sites. Like the one for documentation, it's as easy as putting down, referring that image with markdown syntax, and it's over. It's done. That's for the wiki side because it's not very complex. But when it comes to something else like for Starter project, in that it makes use of Bootstrap, and I'll have to see if it has a solid background or not. Because if it does not, then we can't afford to have a transparent image at the top of it. So we'll have to see.
Okay. In those cases where we wouldn't be able to do that, then what about? So I'm just thinking that the tell us what you think button, like I'm guessing we're gonna want that to like be interactable, correct?
It should lead to the survey because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hi, Sayak. You're on
Hey,
mute.
sorry
You're on
guys,
mute.
I was in another meeting, just got over.
No problem. So we're discussing about the Fedora contributors survey and the banner of it being put into multiple sites. Um, so that's what we're discussing about. I think the HackMD link should be visible to you as well. So that's something that we're working on right now. We have decided that someone will take a certain site and analyze them as to how we can add those images as a banner to them. That's what we're working on.
Hmm.
So I was just messaging Ben Cotton because he commented on the ticket I opened. He was saying that this isn't something that the websites team has historically done, and I said, okay, that's fine, but we're doing it now. So he did give me a little bit of information. So you'll see I'm writing in here some contacts under each one. So, for example, Matthew Miller is the discussions expert. For which one? Docs. Apparently, there's Adam Samalik needs to do a manual update to some file, and then the accounts and the HyperKitty should be coordinated with the info team. So that's some additional information I was just given. Does all of that make sense to everyone? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I might have to open tickets in other places. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but.
So then, like, just for addressing like building this and being able to get the most like usable feel out of it for each site, should we maybe, I don't know, is that something that we want to like take some time on with our respective pages to see how we can go about doing it, or do we want to come up with like a starting point plan to work from and then like adapt as necessary? What's everyone's thoughts on that?
I think we can actually first begin to work on it, and then maybe like if we run into some hiccups, probably like chat in the group or something like that. What others think?
Yeah, it's going to be too early right now to decide on those factors as to how those images are to be put. So I think when we'll get down on it, the channel is always open. We can discuss about that over there. Maybe help each other out with the sites that we assigned ourselves with. Now it's going to be a
Yeah.
bit too early for that discussion. So
Yes,
I
and
think just analyzing where the repositories are located and the technology that that site uses, like I mentioned, that Comblog uses WordPress, so that's the kind of lead that we need a plugin that that helps you get custom HTML. Apart from that, we got to know that the start for.fedora.project.org, it makes use of Jinja for completing. So if we just get an idea of where the repository is located and what technology it's built on, I think that would be good for now. That's what I think.
yeah,
Okay.
and I also think that since Murray has also given the point of contact information, I think we can probably start
Yeah, we can
if
reach
we
out to
have any
them.
hiccups. Yeah. Um,
Sure, then
just
I
want
think,
to.
yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
No. Finish it, Akash. It's okay. I can wait.
No, I was talking about moving on to the next topic. So
Yeah,
please
Mm,
go ahead.
yeah. I think we should talk about the new meeting time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Akash, could you please post the link again in the chat here for the time thing? When is good time thing? I think the one that I have on the HackMD is probably not the right one.
Sure, I'll have to look it up. Give me a sec.
Sure, thank you.
So isn't the deal with the one is good that someone else had the permissions? I think we might have to redo it.
We have retrieved that link from her, and it
Oh, okay.
has a conclusive timing to it, which I took a look at, but I've forgotten what that time was. So just give me a sec. I'll fetch that link again.
Nice. Okay, thanks.
Tuesday 3 p.m. UTC, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that exactly what it was. We were also discussing if the time zones were put into consideration, and then we came into a conclusion that yeah, it was. So yeah,
Which day? 3 p.m. UTC, which day?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that becomes about 8:30 for us, for me, Vipul, and Sayak. Isn't that it?
Depending on PST, I guess. So
Yeah,
is UTC affected by daylight savings?
For us, DST doesn't really matter, right? UTC plus 5:30.
I don't know. Maybe it does.
Yeah, 8:30. No, it doesn't. Thankfully, we are not
So
following
is
DST,
it
which I.
you? I think GMT is affected by PST and UTC is not.
No, yeah, we used UTC in there. Yeah.
So it's going to be 8:30 for us. Cool. So do we have approval on this one?
What's the timing?
It's
It's
I think it's 11 a.m. EST on Tuesday, Murray, because it's 10 a.m. for me, which is CST. So I'm assuming that's 11 a.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah, that would be much nicer. My brain doesn't function well this early.
for a change. It's not Friday,
From here,
so that's good.
Yeah.
all of my office meetings should be done by then.
That works for me. I'm probably going to come to every other meeting because I have a different call every other week, but I think that's actually good for me. So that works fine for me. It's my vote.
Yeah, it works for me too.
Awesome.
Ramia, do you own um, the event invite?
The which one? When
The
is good
calendar
time?
invite?
Mm, the Google one, yes, I can modify it and send it to everyone.
Thank
To
you.
the Yes, I will. Um,
I'll put it on the
also,
to-do.
okay, thank you. I was wondering if anyone had time to review the blog for the council ticket.
I can take a look right now.
Well, you
Thank
can
you.
share the link to it, and we'll take a look.
It's in, yes, it's in the HackMD. I'll put it in the chat as well.
Yeah, please do.
Yes. Thank you, Sayed.
Hey, so are we to review it right now, or do we do it after the meeting?
It was actually It was supposed to be done asynchronously over the week so that it's ready by this week. But yeah, I mean, like, if you want, you can do it now. If not, please, by next week would be great so that I can post it in the council ticket saying that the com blog is ready.
Yeah, because we seem to have another topic to talk about, that is restarting
Okay.
modernization. So I thought that maybe we can move on to that thing, and we'll review it as we go on.
That's
Okay.
fine. I'll look at this now while we talk.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Murray. Thank you.
Yeah. So I've shared a link of a Kanban board that I've been maintaining for the modernization, because it's the bills on EPEL 8 are not working, because I think Fed message is not being packaged in that thing. So that's something to discuss about. Like I mentioned earlier, I reached out to Chowie regarding packaging, and if he is interested to do that. But seems like we'll have to look for some other packager for this point of time. The objective right now is to make sure that all the changes that we made in the due course of last year, that of course includes Python 3 port, and the changes that we made to it regarding memcache AD, because we phased it out. It was not used in the production side of things as well. So that's not that big of a change, but it's being removed out of the dependencies. That's something. So these things need to be included, but the CI is broken, due to which a lot of pull requests are lined up, but they're not getting merged. So the first thing that needs to be done is fixing of the CI, and then comes the packaging part of things. And we also need people to check, run QA tests on the package, see if it really works. Because I don't know, I just took the version 0.6.2 that Xiaomi made the last time, made some changes to it. It builds fine on Copper, on Fedora CH roots. I don't know how it's pronounced. So it works on them, but it does not work on EPEL 8, which is something that we needed to work on. So something that can be, Vipul, can you tell what's the status of Fed methods packaging on RHEL 8?
Which is Apple 8 Enterprise, the extra packages for Enterprise Linux.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't see it. I was just checking src.fp.o. There's no Apple 8 branch, so someone needs to package it. I'm sure people can come forward and help you for that.
sure thing.
One thing that, if I can request, you also mentioned CI point of view.
Yeah,
It would be really nice, since Mode is Python, right?
yeah.
Would be nice if you could use talks to keep general Fedora application consistent. It's something talks and knows we have been using for testing things, and then I can help you with CI configuration if you have something talks running.
Sure thing. The current test cases are broken. It's not something that we can blame Travis for. The only thing that we blame Travis for is switching from org to com. But
So there is a Fedora infrastructure Jenkins instance with all the applications. Noggin uses that, and a bunch of other like election and Noncio and whatnot.
yeah,
I can give you access to that, but and it's pretty easy, since there is a shared library I wrote 2 years ago, which basically runs Tox tests on a container.
yeah,
So once Tox is working fine, things will be good to go. So I would just request, like, obviously whatever works the best and convenient for the team, that matters.
yeah.
But if you can see if Tox test is the way to go, and then we can configure CI around it.
At this point of time, it sounds like the right thing to do, because it's put to use in nuancier elections and other applications as well. So it won't be that much of work when we do talks, as compared to picking a CI from ground up. So I think that should be good. But I'll look into it for some time, and I'll let you know. But yeah, the CI needs to be fixed first before having it packaged to Apple 8. And I'll reach out to people regarding Fed message being packaged in Apple 8 as well, because it's still a dependency for mode. It's not using Fedora messaging.
So tell me something. Is talks there? Like, is there talks things written? Okay. So
Now
let's
we'll
do
have to
that
convert
first.
our test cases first to
Yeah.
talks, and then make use of talks to run those test cases.
Yeah. So if it passes or fails is a different thing. But once
Yeah,
there's something talks, then I can configure CI for you. And then over time test cases can be converted, like that's a ongoing thing. It passes or fails is a different thing. Is there a CI? That's the first question.
The CI is present, but the test cases are they're bonkers. They don't work. They fail on very strange circumstances. So I think they need to be rewritten. And just because they need to be rewritten, we are thinking of rewriting it while keeping talks in mind from ground up. You know, more convenient that way.
Yeah, whoever is developing, obviously their convenience is important, because I can say all the way, "Hey, look, we have been using this," and I'm not gonna help in the end. That's not good. So yeah,
Yeah.
if Docs is fine with you, I would recommend that, and then we can easily integrate it with
Yeah, it looks
the
fine for
shared
me
library.
at this
Cool.
point of time. It's not something that we would want to go with. I would have to discuss, run a discussion with Justin, with Nasir, with Ramya as well, to see what's their preferences as well regarding this. But at this point of
Mhm.
time, just because it's convenient, it's being used in other applications as well. So it kind of looks like the thing to go to, or it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's something that I wanted to talk about. The Kanban board is there, so I think I'll you just share your email IDs with me so that we can track it together, and I can assign it, issues to them because this is something which is more for groundwork, something that we are doing actively, and it's required as well. And it has some urgency to it, I'd say, because the last build is about 5 years old or 4 years old. I don't know. The 0.6.2 was 2017, so it's still running Python 2. Not something that we would want to make happen in 2021.
it's not packaged in F34,
It's
F32.
no, it stopped its build since F30, uh, the most recent
True.
raw height.
F31 is where we retired, if I remember correctly, or F32, something in there. Okay.
SRC dot something something something. I'll send you the link to it. I have it nearby. So it was
I can
retired
check it. Don't worry
about
about it.
sure. So it was retired about 3 to 4 years back because there were some dependencies related to Python 2 which were not building. So that is why we required the Python 3 version of it to be running on Apple 8. That's why that urgency that I was specifying about. So yeah, that's pretty much about mode modernizing part of things. So if is there any other topic to discuss about, we can go on to that.
Um, and we're right at the ending of our time, so I guess we should probably move to any like last minute comments or anything. Then we can wrap up.
The blog post's almost ready.
Cool.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Awesome. I guess we're all good. So we're looking at doing the com blog review to get it so that Rami can fire that out. Our pages for the banner are the main things that it looks like we got a lot of work to do on this week. But yeah, that looks like good stuff. Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Awesome.
everybody. I'll just message you in the group chat, Ramya, in a moment when this is all done.
Okay, thank you so much, Mary.
I believe we can stop the recording right now.
Yeah. Um,
It's still going, is it?